Yep, here it is, the next Mark II project. The starter. Looks like there might be a spring missing from there because that... Oh no, it probably spins back through centrifugal force, doesn't it? Nope, don't lie to me, Gary, there's a little busted spring there. So you'll have to get one of those. Yeah, that should be in there, that spring on the starter. Alright, so we've got to get that. Now, this, as you see, has the wonderful little strap that they use. It's in a bit of a state, but I'm going to restore it and then I'm going to sell it. I have bought a pre-engage, high torque, you know what I mean, don't you? Because I don't. And what I intend to do, as I said, is restore this. This is the original one from the 64 Jaguar, but it needs help. So I'll take it apart, put new brushes in it, replace this spring that is obviously busted here. That's the Bendix, I think. I can't remember what you call this one. God damn it, Muskie. However, that is what I will do, and I'll show you the process. First thing I'm going to do is put this in a tray, give this a good old dose of aircraft remover, and get all this crappy paint off. Then once I've got that off, then I'll clean up this and then strip it down. Let's get on with it. Right, here we go. Good old aircraft remover. And this stuff, you're not meant to brush out. It's very hard not to. You're meant to just kind of dibby-dab it on, apparently. Although I must admit I do get the occasional brush out. I tell you what, this thing's bloody heavy. Okay, giving that a good old slapping. So we'll now wait and give it a chance to do its work. And well, you can see it's done its work. Got this lovely little wire brush that I use to remove this stuff, even though the stripper has done the job. Just brushes it off. Get rid of all that nasty, yucky paint. Because I will be powder coating this to give it a much better resistance. So whoever buys it is going to get a lovely powder coated starter motor. Aren't they the lucky one, huh? Okay, let me get the rest of this off. I'm going to rinse under the tap and then we'll start the strip down. I'll be back again. I'll come back, clean up this and then strip it down. Let's get on with it. So I will clean all this up. I did say I was going to powder coat it. That's not going to happen because I don't want to damage the rest of this by heating it in the oven. And I'm not going to take everything apart to do that. There's no point when I can give this a good coat of paint. That's what we'll do. And next stage for you guys, what will it be? I guess cleaned up prior to painting. Well, we are progressing. Just taken this to the blaster. I'm not going to worry about the inside. I'll just give the outside a quick wipe. Same here. I'll keep this surface clean because when that's bolted onto the bell housing, you want a good contact, so you don't want paint on that I might just paint the edge there. I have also cleaned this up. I will now polish it to make it even better. I've cleaned this up and did the brushes, particularly the surface of the brushes, because I want to make sure they get a good contact. And I will clean this up a little more and give it a good coat of clear lacquer, and I'm going to polish the inside of this where the end of the shaft runs. It's this is, I know, backwards, but it's a little, yeah. So I want to clean that up, polish it, and then I'll probably put a little light grease on there. The two screws, giving them a bit of a blast. I'll go over them with a wire brush just to get those final specks of paint off. And I've cleaned this on the outside particularly, and the inside I gave it a good douse of brake cleaner. Looking at this one, it is definitely from 1966. There is an 8 here above the L3, so I'm assuming that means August 1966. I can't think of any other reason to put the 8 there. The part number, hard to tell one of the numbers, but it looks like it's 25521E, and then underneath it says M418 something, and again, hard to read. They really didn't stamp it or cast it that hard. There's a little bit more crap that I got to clean off here, which I shall do, and once I've got that off, then I will give it another blast with brake cleaner, and then we will get into painting. So let's clean that up first. The polishing on the commutator, that can be one of the last jobs just before I put it together. That way I don't get crap on it. Okay, and here, let's see. Yeah, there's a line there of paint, and I'm going to clean that off. I don't want that on there because I want the casing to make a good contact there, so I'm going to get rid of that as well. Okay, let's get on with it. Well, everything is now stripped down as far as I'm going to go. Next thing is this off to the sandblaster. All of this, give it a nice good clean up in the blaster. I still have to obtain the starter spring, which, let me just show you, is totally fucked. I mean, it's a piece of crap. And you got to have that so that it sends this flying back. Yeah, so when it disengages, but you know, that's a minor detail. I mean, there's some wear on the gear there, but it's really not bad. In fact, you can hardly feel it. It looks worse than it actually is. So I'm going to get this cleaned up, painted, and clear lacquer on that. And then it'll be up for sale. So if any of you out there watching this video will be looking for a 60s starter motor, there is a number on here, and I need to confirm with someone. It says 66, so I'm assuming that this is a 1966 starter motor. It's 2 6s above the 12 volt stamp. So I believe that means it's a 1966. Now, as this came out of a 1964 car, I can only assume that after 2 years the original starter took a dump. But this one's been banging away since 1966 and it still works fine. All I got to do, as I say, is replace that little spring. So let's get on with it, and be back in a while. Alright, let's start ripping this baby down. Does it turn? It does, but it's a little stiff. I wish I had that problem. Let's get this band off first. That's a good idea. Screwdriver and a spanner. What is it? It's a 3/8 spanner. And a screwdriver. We'll give this all a jolly good blasting and paint it up, but making sure we don't lose any pieces, because I'm very good at that. Ooh-wee. Alright, let's put that back in there, and then we will not lose it, will we, Gary, you moron? Okay, off with that. Okay, well, there's a bit of moisture in there. Trying to see the brushes. Tell you what, they're not terrible. I think I'll probably still replace them. We'll see. We'll see once I get them out. I think they're in there. They're not too bad. All right. So we need to separate the ends. We're going to need to disconnect this. This one, I could not find a wrench close to it. Well, I could find one close, which is a 9/16, but it ain't nowhere near the right size. So do be aware of that. It's probably a Whitworth, and I must admit I am very devoid of Whitworth spanners. So I'm hoping that I can just do it with these AF ones. Alright, there we go. And don't forget the order that these things go in. Now, it doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to use this ever again. Right. And there is a insulating fibre washer here that prevents it from shorting out against the base. Okay? Next thing to do, undo these little babies here. Well, I say little. They're big motherfuckers. Now, can I get this screwdriver in there, I guess, is the question. Okay. That one's in. Now, obviously, when I take this back plate off, end plate, whatever you want to call it, the brushes are going to go, well, because I'm going to take this end off. So, you know, you just have to be aware of that. It's not the end of the world. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. And try and make sure you get the screwdriver in there, clean this shit out. Otherwise, you'll end up burring it over and you will be upset. And you will want to spank your bottom. And that is not allowed. Well, I guess you can. It's your bottom. You can do what you like with it. All right. Now, will this just come apart? Maybe I need a little tippy tap tap tap. Go. Okay. There it goes. All right. Now, you can see here. Actually, this is not bad. The commutator is a little worn, and I'll go over that with some very fine emery paper, and then I'll polish it. You know, like the parrot behind the door, polish it behind the door. Okay, so that's really not looking terrible. So we'll give this a good clean up and a polish before we put it back in. And of course we want to, if we can, I don't even know if it's possible. I doubt it's possible. I wanted to get this end off to powder coat it. I think I may not be able to do that, so I may have to just paint it. Alright, now what have we got on this end? Okay, inside, if you can see in there, in fact if you can't, let me get a light. Hopefully you can see in there. Those brushes are fine. They do not need replacing. There's plenty of meat left on them. So I'll give this a bit of a clean up. I probably won't take these off. I know I said I was going to powder coat it, but I can't powder coat with those on there. So I may well end up just painting this. I've got to strip the rest of this off as well. So let's see if I can get this plate off the end. Now when you're taking this plate off the end here, you do need to be careful because the brushes are attached here. So you need to make sure you get those brushes out. Let me see if I can do this with a driver of the screws. Okay, that's that one out of the way. Not quite sure why that's got green tape on it. I guess maybe somebody else has been here before. Decided green was the colour. So we need to get that brush off. Okay, here she comes. Walking down the street. Alright. Okay, so that's that brush out. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side because it's attached. And I can't think what you call that piece. Damn it. Don't lose the spring. Because you're going to need it. Put it all back together. They're easy enough to get off. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Light the fire. There we go. It's coming. Sorry if you're not getting a very good view of this. There it is, out. And there we go. Whoop, don't lose that washer. That little washer there goes on there. Don't lose it. So, let's put that there. Now, yep, these brushes look pretty good to me. There is plenty of life left in them. No point in wasting money. I'll give this a good clean up before we put it back in. And I'll also do the same in here. I'll give that a good old blast out with some brake cleaner. Everything in there seems okay. What I might try and do is replace that tape with something a little more, I don't know, maybe some heat shrink or something like that. Although, of course, getting it on there will be a nightmare. Well, we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. But I've still got to clean up the rest of this because it's got paint on it. Does it matter? No. Am I going to clean it? Yes. There you go. That's it. Stripped down. Wow. Not difficult, really, is it? So there you go. That's stripped. Now you clean it all and put it back together. And also inside here, you know, that needs a damn good cleaning as well. Okay, now they're all nicely cleaned up. That one didn't need anything more other than a brake clean. Clean the screw, clean those screws, clean that up, clean this casing up, clean this up. That has been cleaned. I haven't polished inside there yet. I think I'm going to do that after I've done the lacquering. Purely because if any lacquer gets in there, then I can clean it out. I will be lacquering it from one side only, of course, and it will get some stuff in there. Actually, I may put a bung in there to reduce the amount. There you go. Next phase is to paint this. Actually, don't lie. Next phase is to give this another blast of brake cleaner to get the crap off, then paint it. And as I said, I will not be painting this surface because that's what comes in contact with the housing, and I want to make sure that gets a good ground. Also here, the only points I might do will be here. Shit, no, I don't even think I'm going to do that, in all honesty. I'm just going to leave that all bare metal so that it gets a good ground. There you go. Problem solved. All right, let's get it painted. All right, everything is painted now, cleaned up, and ready to go back together. As you can see, I've got all the components laid out. These, for the moment, we'll just put them on there, keep them out of the way. Oops. Okay, let's get that out of the way. That out of the way. Don't need those yet. Definitely don't need that yet. This is one of the last things to go on, so we'll put that to the side as well. We need these two babies. What we've got to do is get them in here, ready to get the brushes in. So let's do that. Oops. Silly ass, put it on the wrong way, didn't I? Ha ha. Uh-oh. Sounds like someone's calling. Hang on 1 second. Right, now you've got the springs back on, you need to get it back in here and get these brushes back in. Now this will only go in one way. Got the big ass hole there, and that's what that stud goes through. So what we now need to do is get these brushes in. And this is never easy, I can tell you that right now. So let's see what we can do. You can watch me struggle. In fact, I tell you what, maybe, I don't know, I'm wondering if I should do this with, hang on. So to give me a bit more leverage. If I could hold it still, I need 3 hands. Could you give me a hand here? Alright, let's twist that out of the way, put the brush in the hole and let it go. Okay, so that works. Now I've got to do the same with the other one. And it's slightly different because I've got to do it upside down, but we'll get there. So it's profitable. Pow! It went. Yes, it's in here. Right, let's put the spring back on, shall we, Gary? I could do it that way. Oh no, you can't do it that way because it falls off. Alright, back again. Whoa. Right, let's have another go at getting this last one on. In. Man, this is the bitch, isn't it? Maybe if I do it this way, would that be easier, Gary? What do you think? Help, gravity help. Close to there. Actually, let's line that up on the hole. Try something else. Okay, now look. I'm going to get mad now. Okay, I took it out. I should have paid attention, shouldn't I, when I was taking it out as to how I did it. Doodled it. Let's get the brush in there. Let's try it that way. I hope you're having a good laugh watching me. Now, next, now I've got this on here. I've got the brushes in. We've got to slide the main doobie-dabby here. The biggest problem we're going to have now is getting these brushes on here because it's going to be kind of awkward. However, prior to that, there's a little something I like to do. Give me a second here. If I can find what I'm looking for without dying. I just want to put a little grease in here. Don't go crazy. And again, I use copper grease. It's brass in there, so you know it's pretty self-lubricating. Now, there is a little pin, dimple, and that has to go into that. So we slide this in. Just slides in, doesn't it? And this is where the fun begins, because now we have to pull those 4 brushes back. And of course they will be trapped in places you didn't want them trapped. Alright, you get the idea. You've got to get all these brushes lined up and pulled back. Once you get the brush in, I tend to use this to just pull it back against the spring, and then we'll continue from there. I'm not going to let you watch me struggle. Back in a minute. I should show you is that what I do is I pull them back with these wires and then just put a screwdriver across. I mean a bar, a drill bit, doesn't matter, just to hold them back while you lower it down. And as you can see, this is now lowered down. Next little trick will be to get these screws in. And you have to be careful how you feed these in. They've got to go through a certain groove and behind the cardboard. So let me get that done. Well, the final piece of the puzzle is this, to cover everything up. And it really, I want to say it really doesn't matter where you position it, but there is a certain, oh, hang on, doing this all wrong. There is a certain caveat I want to put in, because you want to make sure you cover all of these big holes. Okay, so slip that on. Actually, I'm saying that. Give me a second. Yeah, they are all the same thickness. So my preference is to put it where the seam is. You do what you want to do. I'm going to put it right where that welding joint is. Okay, and you grab your screwdriver. Sorry, you're not seeing it, are you? You're just seeing my ugly mug. Let me spin around for you. Obviously soft jaw vice. So I'm just going to put it right where that is. 1 second. Just seems kind of neat to do it that way. And then the final piece of the puzzle is this. It goes in there, ready for when it's installed on the vehicle. And I still do have one more piece to go, but I'm going to put this video out anyway, and that one more piece is to replace that spring. Let me just remind you of that. Oh, that's fucking heavy on the finger. Let me bend you down. This spring here, which is totally shot, so I'm going to order a new one of those, and then we will be good to go to put her on eBay and sell her for millions of dollars. So anyone out there needs a 1966 starter motor for an XK engine that has been rebuilt. I promise you I will test this before then. Oh, you want to see me test it, don't you? I don't know if I've got a battery strong enough, but I've got a little testy thing that we'll try. Give me a second.